Hello, Flosstube friends. It is Tuesday, October 10th, 2023, and I am coming to you. This is Flosstube number 69. I am Lynette at Homesteading on the Home Front. It's been a little over a month. That's it. It's miraculous. A Flosstube miracle. I'm home alone for the first time since the last time I filmed. And so I have some whips and I have some finishes and some plans to talk to you about. I am packing up and getting ready for Stitch New England. So I figured if I did a video before the retreat and showed you all the stuff that I've done and plan to do, then at some point after the retreat, I can show you what I actually got accomplished. I have a cat on my table. Who knows? She doesn't belong on the table. You want to come say hi? This is Misty. She's a brat. And I've taken her chair up with cross-stitch stuff, so she's not very happy with me. Okay, you can't be on the table. All right, so let's just get into it, shall we? I have a pile of stuff. What should we talk about first? Let's talk about whips first. And first, this is a start since last time I filmed. This is Scarlet House AUM sampler. It looks like it should be pretty big, right? Nope. This is it. Here's my hand for size comparison. So what I did here is I spent a couple days stitching the letter and outlining the pumpkins because I want to fill all of this in at Stitch New England. Okay. And then the border is pretty brainless as well, so I plan to do that at Stitch New England and hopefully have a finish. I decided to change the letters of our 4 names, and I'm not mad that I did. I worried it would change the look of the chart, but it didn't really. And I think, okay, maybe I'm not. I'm not using called for at all, apparently. Oh, maybe I am. Okay, it calls for Caterpillar, which I'm assuming this is, and Pollywog, which I'm assuming this is. Also calls for Nutmeg. I'm pretty sure this is a Victorian motto sub-in. And it called for Ginger Snap, and so I'm using Victorian motto Granny's Biscuits. So this is a beautiful color palette for a very, very quick and easy chart. Now, I noticed while I was stitching on this, paid $12 for this chart. If I had wanted to, I could have finished this in like 2 or 3 days. The chart for Dutch Beauty cost me $13. And if I want to, I might be able to finish it in 2 or 3 years. So just an interesting comparison about bang for your buck as far as stitching goes. Okay, so that one is coming with me to Stitch New England. Hopefully it will be a finish. We'll see. The next one, I think you saw last time. It is from this book, Across Stitch Christmas. I will show you what it's supposed to look like. I decided to do it on a different color fabric. So this is what it's supposed to look like. I loved it because it had a very Nordic, kind of Swedish look to it. And this summer, my mother and I were able to go to Sweden and meet relatives. I had actually started this last April, though. I think we did know in April that we were going. It was kind of a last minute um, decision because we were supposed to go over COVID, and then we decided to make it happen this year. But anyway, I started this one in April at the Grape Escape, and I didn't know how I was going to finish it. My husband has declared a moratorium on pillows in the house, so I didn't know what I was going to do with that. But I liked it, so I started finishing it, or started stitching it. And this is what I have thus far. So you can see I need to finish this guy, and I had to frog out the two little motifs here. And so I am really, really, really hoping that this is going to be a finish tonight. Now, I'm not doing the stem here. There's a reason for that. So, registration for the Jingle Ball is upcoming. And I've decided for $10, I'm going to bite the bullet. I didn't do it last year. But I'm going to do it this year. And I was considering taking the class that Liz Matthews is offering because I love some of her trees and I want to stitch them. So I was considering taking the class that she's offering on how to finish those trees. And then I was like, somebody must have a tutorial. Somebody must have a tutorial out there. They can't be that hard. So I looked on YouTube, and sure enough, 2 or 3 years ago, when she first came out with her first tree, she made a tutorial. Now, is the quality great? Nope. It's 20 or 30 minutes. It's very quick, and they are very easy to make. And so as I was watching that video thinking, okay, now I have to decide which of her trees I'm going to start stitching, it dawned on me that this could very well be finished into a Liz Matthews tree. And so that's what I'm doing with this, which is why I am not stitching the stem that comes down here. I'm going to finish it in a flower frog. I have several of those using a twig from outside, and we will see how that goes. But I wanted this to be a finish before Stitch New England, so I didn't have to take it with me. I outlined, I keep wanting to call them cows. Clearly they are reindeer. It's called like reindeer tree or something like that, but they just look like cows to me. So anyway, I had outlined them all in the event that I needed to take this to Stitch New England to finish it, so I could just kind of stitch and be done. But it's going to be done tonight. I don't care if I have to go to bed at 2 a.m. It's going to be done tonight. And that will be one less whip. Right now, I don't know, I'm carrying like 6 or 7 whips, and that's more than I like. I liked this, right? If I have to use more than one hand, I get uncomfortable. So anyway, I think those are the only whips I'm going to show you, because the other whips I have, so I have those two. I have Live on Little, which is coming to Stitch New England with me. I really haven't worked on it, I don't think, since the last time we visited, so I'm not showing that to you. I have Dutch Beauty. I think I got one motif done maybe since the last time I talked, so I'm not showing that to you either. I have my Donna Ray ornament, which I have decided is going to be my school project. I've got a couple sub days coming up, and it's in a little teeny tiny bag. It's a little project. It's easy to take with me. So that's going to be my school project. I have the State of Illinois, which is coming with me to Stitch New England. That might be it. Maybe I'm only at 6 whips. Regardless, I want to be done with the tree, because I'll talk to you about a new start that I'm going to have. Okay, so let's get into FOs, because I do have some of those since the last time we spoke. Sampler September, I had mentioned I was working on Abigail Colby. This was the only unicorn chart that I've ever had in my life. I saw Kindred Stitcher working on it many moons ago. I had just finished a sal that a lot of us did. It was a Brenda Gervais, and it was a Quaker with a bird in the middle, and I loved it, and I loved the colors. So when I saw Kindred Stitcher working on this, I was like, oh, that's, very reminiscent of that Brenda Gervais pattern. I want to find it. And it was going for crazy, crazy money on eBay. And so I just gave up. And then in April at the Grape Escape, my friend Deborah was going to put this on the freebie table. And so I nabbed it, and I decided this was my Sampler September project. And so I was making great headway. And then I ran out of the brown that I was using. I forget what it calls for, but I was just using Brandied Pear by Classic Colorworks. And I'm sorry, not Classic Colorwork, Crescent Colors. Oh, well, this must have been the old one. The old tag. And then I ran out. And so, thank goodness, I went to Stitch New England, the shop, and I found Brandied Pears, and it was like exactly the same. So, and okay, here's a funny story. I will backtrack. I cannot find the skein of Brandied Pear that I was using. Anyway, I was at the shop and I said, oh, there's a little bit of difference between these two dye lots of Brandied Pear. So I'm going to buy both of them and take them home and compare, because I forgot, of course, to bring my project with me. And so I got home and one of them clearly matched. And I was like, fantastic. Yay, I can continue my project. And then I looked at the other one that I had grabbed, and it wasn't Brandied Pears, it was Brown Sugar. But because they were alphabetically together, they were on the same hook. So anyway, I got a bonus Brown Sugar out of that deal. Oh, this must be the Brandied Pears. So if you look, they are very, very, very similar. So anyway, I was very fortunate. I don't think you can tell anywhere in this project what motif I was working on when I switched out to the new floss. But this is Abigail Colby. There are lots of intentional changes. I added my initials instead of Abigail Colby's. And there are lots of unintentional changes. But you'd never be able to tell. I'm not going to point them out to you. Now I just have to figure out, what am I going to do with this girl? Originally, I thought I was going to make a top for her. I have a shaker basket that I got at a yard sale, and I thought I was going to just add it to the top of the shaker basket. But then I decided I might want something with a handle on it so I could use it as a sewing basket like she did. And then there are all these little accessories, and I have to figure out if I'm going to stitch those or not. I think I'm going to do at least one. We'll see. Now that I have more Brandied Pears. So for now, Abigail Colby is a finish in my Deborah Harry bag that I won at Stitch, New Jersey. Very thankful for that. All right, my next finish was a Quickie. I was looking for something fall to stitch. Hold on, let me show you why. I had gotten this at a thrift store. I think I paid $4 for it. There was a fake lavender wreath here in the shape of an O. And so what I've been doing is I've been stitching seasonal circles to put here so that I can hang this on my front door and have something for the season. So I was thinking I want something fall. And so I started looking through When the Leaves Fall from Blackbird. And the very first thing I saw was this one right here. And I knew that's what I wanted for my welcome. So not using any of the called fors at all, I just kind of went for it. And this is what happened. So it's very cute and I love it and I have to finish it. However, in the meantime, I discovered that I had already done a fall small for this sign. That Brenda Gervais, she's got a squirrel with an acorn. I had already done that for this one. So I don't know. One may be October and one may be November. I don't know. Maybe I'll get this finished in time for November. Who knows? So that was another finish. And my third finish, which is the most exciting. This is Miss Eliza Brett's schoolroom samplings. This is a very old chart. My mother was cleaning out my stuff from their basement, and this was in it from it was in with my college stuff, so it was the mid-90s. I don't know if there's an actual date. Oh, copyright 1992. And so I just happened to be sorting through all of this stuff. It was like all college stuff and student teaching stuff. And I found this and it reminded me immediately of Sally Spencer. And so in April of 2022, I started stitching this at a retreat and I didn't touch it again for a very long time. And then I started working on it and loved it. And I finally finished it. So I used many of the same colors that I used in Sally Spencer. I know the red is Buckeye Scarlet. I did add some personalizations. I added Bible verse here. I changed the bottom slightly. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell that I changed the bottom slightly. Because originally I thought I was going to put words in here. Like a Bible verse. I didn't think I was going to put my personalization here. But that's how it happened. I have a frame for her. She's going to fit just fine. I just need to find the time to lace her. And she will be done as well. So I'm hoping sooner rather than later to get her laced and on the wall. So, I have another one. Another finish. Where did it go? Right here. So, excuse me, I'm dropping stuff. I had finished this piece a long time ago, but it needed something else and I didn't know what. So it is, it's this one by Brenda Gervais. I forget what the name of it is. Hickety Pickety, maybe? And I was going through some of my charts to sort through and decide what to put on the freebie table at Stitch New England. And I came across these. Now, originally, being a gardener, I had planned to stitch these and make a drum or something. And then I was like, do I really need 2 drums? No, I don't. So maybe I'll combine them into one because I really like this saying, but I'm a flower farmer, so I like this better. Anyway, what I finally decided to do was just put the saying on Hickety Pickety, if that's really what it's called. And that's exactly what I did. So I am going to finish this as a circle, I believe. And then I'm going to stick it on this pumpkin, which came from the now defunct Christmas tree shop. It had, you can see it's got some holes in here. It had a very thin metal word. I don't know if it said give thanks or whatever. So all I had to do was unscrew that. And then I'll do something with this, and that will be a cute little finish. So now Hickety Pickety is actually done. All right, so whips, FOs, plans are next. And plans I have. The first one is going to be a new start at Stitch New England. This one came out, I forget when, and it was, I don't know, maybe it was Market. It came out sometime this year, and whenever it came out, it was the only thing that I ordered. So maybe it was Market, because I didn't find much at Market that I loved. So I ordered this, and Amy Gable Stitcher and my best friend Stacy and I are going to be starting this at Stitch New England. Now, I was all excited because the called for fabric is Vintage Country Mocha, which we all know is my favorite. However, and I don't even have a piece of it here to show you, it was way, way, way darker than this. And so right now, I think I'm going to be stitching it on Seraphim Dusty Road. However, this is a 20 count Ada. I love me 20 count Ada. And I have recharted the words. The words here are over 1. So I recharted them as backstitch for Ada. So yes, I can show the chart because I'm the designer of this. And if you want to stitch this on Ada, here you go. I changed, these are all satin stitches, which is very hard to do on Ada, so I changed them to cross stitches, and then I changed the words to back stitching. I would move the W over. There's 2 spaces between them right now. There should only be 1. But anyway. And also, another change that I'm definitely making, whether I stitch it on Ada or linen, is that this wording, it needs to be centered over the house. I'm one of those symmetrical people, and it needs to be centered. So I did the math. I know how that's got to go. And so that's the change I'm going to be making there. At the retreat, I am going to start with the roof. I am not usually a center starter ever, but I'm certainly not going to be counting if I start up in the, for me, this would be the upper left corner, which is where I usually start. So I'm going to be starting with the roof, and I'm just going to hope to get the roof filled in at the retreat, and then that's it, because it's all counting from there on out. At some point, maybe after the retreat, I can build the house and lay the mortar and windows, and then use the stitching at the farm to fill in the house. So we'll see. However, it is on my list of things to do today to see if I can find some 36 count linen that I might want to stitch this on. I don't know. I've got like 3 days. These are the colors. What a mess. I chose the colors where it would make a difference. Like you could actually see the variegations. So the house is Ye Old Gold and Sandcastle. And so I am using those 2 colors for the house. The greens and the grass, you will see the variegation. So I use those. Used brick for some of the flowers. I will be using that for, but otherwise, I'm subbing DMC or something else. And thankfully, there were a lot of DMCs that were called for anyway. So I should be good to go on that. I am changing the blue. I think it calls for Mountain Mist. And Mountain Mist was like too minty, I think, for me. So I am changing, I think, I think. I think I'm changing that to Dolphin, which is a more bluish gray. We'll see how that goes. I make no promises. So this will be started sometime at Stitch New England, which I will be going to on Thursday. We haven't decided when yet. Maybe Thursday. Who knows? So that's my first plan. Now, I had another Blackbird Autumn that I was going to try to do, the Blackbird Strawberry. But as I finished up the autumn stitching and picked up the reindeer tree, I really got in the mood for Christmas. So I think I might be finishing up the Scarlet House pumpkin and then moving on to Christmas, because I do have a lot of Christmas would be nice things on my list this year. Number 1 on that list. Now, ever since we lived in Guam and I started my Flosstube, I've been wanting to show you these ornaments. I don't think I ever remembered to, well, okay, so I don't think I could show them to you in Guam because I don't believe I brought them to Guam. I think that all of the Christmas ornaments that were precious, I left at my parents for safekeeping because I didn't want to take a chance on moving them across the world. So I think in Guam, I was not able to show them to you. And then once we moved back, I kept forgetting to hold them back from packing up from Christmas. And this year I finally did. These 2 ornaments were stitched by my husband's grandmother. This one, 1987. This one doesn't have a date. And so I have several other things she stitched that I have shown. I have a Cricut collection sampler that she did in reds and blues. And we have that. I have a lavender and lace. She had started, it was one of the Santas. She had started that before she had her stroke, and after she had her stroke, she couldn't stitch anymore. So I went out to visit them shortly after we got married. Stephen was deployed, and Grandpa was going through chemo. So I went out to help bring him to his treatments. And while I was there, I finished stitching this lavender and lace Santa that she had started. And so we have that as well. But when she passed away, we also got these ornaments. And so I hunted and hunted because I knew obviously they're part of a set, right? And discovered that they came from Mary Beal, who, if you've been stitching since the 80s, you know the name Mary Beal. She did all those beautiful Christmas stockings. And I finally learned that she had self-published some newsletter called Pocket Needlework. This says it was published 5 times in 1999, and it contains the charts for these 2 ornaments as well as several others. Now I'm going to show this to you because, like, me looking at this right now, I could not even stitch from the charts. So nobody's going to be able to stitch from them from the screen. But this is what they look like. They're very, very hard to read. I think I don't know if they're hand drawn or not, but you know, they're from that time when stuff was not great for charting. So anyway, I have several of these ornaments from the set that I want to get going on. I have pulled the DMCs for all of them. These are from the one I want to stitch next. The color palette reminded me very much of ornaments that I have stitched from my big toe from the Christmas issues, right? These tend to be that color palette. I have my mini project card from Steph, who I will be seeing at Stitch New England. So I am ready to go on these. Now, as far as fabric goes, these are done on linen, and so I want to keep them on linen. And I had something in my stash that was really close. So this is what I'm going to stitch it on. It's supposed to be stitched on this side. I don't know if you can tell, but it's opalescent. So it kind of sparkles on the side. And I thought at first maybe I would stitch them on the opalescent side, but they're just so primitive that I don't think that opalescent would be appropriate. So I'm going to stitch them on the wrong side, and I think I'm going to get a pretty good match. So my plan is one kid will get this one kid will get this one, and then I will stitch this one again for the kid who got this one, and I will stitch this one again for the kid who got this one. So they'll each have one of their great grandmother's ornaments. They'll have one that their mother stitched, and then whatever I'm gonna start stitching a whole different design too. So they'll have a third one to go with the set, and then maybe I'll do 4th and 5th ones. I don't know, but that's a plan. Fun fact, it says on that paperwork that Mary Beal is from Massachusetts. I had no idea. All right, that's the project bag that goes with that. So I do have more plans for ornaments. I want to make the Kathy Haberman ones that came out at last year's Jingle Ball that I was finally able to get. She did release them. And a couple other Christmas things I want to work on. I didn't go crazy, but I did make some purchases when Etsy had their $5 off 25 deal. So I have some of those Christmas ornaments that I want to start working on. Who knows? We're just gonna play it by ear. And so yeah, Thursday I leave for Stitch New England. I'm really looking forward to that. My best friend Stacy is coming with me. She came with me to a smaller retreat in April of 2022. There were only about 30, 35 of us there. So this is her first big retreat, and I'm really, really excited to share that experience with her. I think we're at about 280. So it's going to be a good size retreat. We've got a room. I'm going shopping as soon as I end our visit for food for the weekend. when Amy Gable Stitcher and I went to Stitch, New Jersey, we decided we didn't want to eat out all the time. And so we brought stuff to make taco salad, and then we brought stuff to have like a nosh board, charcuterie board. And it just worked out really, really good. It was so easy. And so when Stacy and I were talking about meals, she suggested the walking tacos, which is basically taco salad. I was like, yeah, that works well. So we're doing that, and then we're gonna have our own little charcuterie board one night. So pickles and cheese and salami and crackers and whatever finger foods, fruit, whatever we can find. So I'm going shopping this morning to get last minute stuff for that. I will be packing for Stitch New England. I will be packing Live on Little. I'm going to be filling in the very bottom dark blue of the ocean. I have everything inside of it stitched. So that's my hope. I will never get all of it done, but that's fine. I also have the sails on the sailboat that I can fill in. So whatever I don't finish at Stitch New England, I will just work on at Stitching at the Farm. I will be bringing the state of Illinois, so it's just black fill in for days. I will be starting at home, and I will be filling in the Scarlet House pumpkin. So hopefully it's all fill in, it's all easy stuff. There will be no frogging. I don't know. I'm not planning on getting a whole lot done. I will be helping Pam on both days. At the welcome table, I'll be cashiering at the trunk shows that she's brought in, and I'll be running the smells exchange with my friend Kristen. So, I guess that's it for now. I will be back maybe before Stitching at the Farm. That's the first weekend in November. This year at Stitching in the Farm, I've never arrived on Thursday before, but this year I need to, because I will be there Thursday, Friday, and then I will have to leave Saturday. I'm thinking I'm going to leave before lunch because we have a birthday celebration that afternoon. And then the next day is the New England Scholastic Band Association finals, which little one is drum major of her marching band, and so they will be there. They perform at 10:30 in the morning, something ridiculous. And then at 7:00 at night, eldest is performing with the Yukon marching band. So it's going to be the first and last time, I believe, that both kids will be performing on the same field on the same day. I would love to get a picture of the two of them together in their uniforms. I don't know that that's going to happen. But yeah, so we're going to see that. Just an update on little one for those of you who have been here since the beginning. She is a senior. She did finish her college applications recently. She chose to apply early decision to Syracuse, and she also applied early action to Northeastern, and her backup is UConn. The things that all three schools have in common is that they offer chemistry majors, some sort of computer science, data analytic minor, and they also have a music program. Northeastern doesn't have a marching band. She could choose to march with Boston University, but I don't think she would do that. But Northeastern does have pep band. So anyway, yes, little one is going to be graduating high school. And eldest just came off of a week. They had a actuarial job fair on a Wednesday, and in 9 days she had 4 or 5 interviews, 2 offers for an internship. She accepted her number one choice, which is literally means she's going to have a 7-minute commute from home this summer. And be working on actuarial stuff at a local insurance company. And she had to cancel another interview for that she had scheduled for this week. So it's raining roses for both kids. And that's our life update. So it's 40 minutes. I never go this long. I will see you at some point the next time I have the house to myself. Who knows when that will be? Or maybe I'll actually do what I did last year and film one at the farm. We'll see. If you are going to be at Stitch New England, please come say hello. I want to meet everybody. I may table hop like I did at StitchCon in 2019 because that was a great way to meet people and see what everyone's stitching on. But as an introvert, that takes a lot out of me. So I don't know. We'll just see. But please do come up and say hello. I will be wearing one of the orange shirts. All right, we will see you next time. Have a good one.